And of course, the tariffs that President Trump has proposed and has decided to put in place, the first will be put in place, the 10% across the board, Saturday, April 5th. The second set, so that's across, I think, 185 countries. A third of those countries will have a second set of tariffs as President Trump tries to veer towards reciprocity. And he knows exactly what that means given the numbers he threw out there, which were somewhat confusing. So those go into effect April 9th, the day before China's tariffs on the U.S. go into effect. So I think there's going to be some serious negotiation. There already is. We know President Trump has said that he and his team are talking to many, many nations. But you'll notice each time that he does come out and say something about the tariffs, he will quickly follow up with, we're moving into one of the strongest economies with one of the best stock markets, and everyone's going to get wealthy. He'll have to, words are going to start to ring hollow unless these negotiations bear fruit and things settle down on the tariff front. One of the things that I've also been trying to communicate, and I will do this with the slides now, is that we've been in a rolling recession since the Fed started raising rates in 2022. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But if we do end up with two back-to-back negative quarters, many investors might fear that, oh no, this is the beginning of a recession, and recessions usually last quite a long time. That's why it's so important to identify what this is. It's actually the end of a rolling recession. Now, what has kept the GDP numbers up in the last few years? High-end consumer and government spending. And both of those are about to change. So we think that we'll have, and in fact, they're in the process of changing as I speak. So I think that it will be the end of the rolling recession, and we'll have a clean slate to move into the future with what we believe could be a very strong productivity-driven recovery and then expansion. The technologies around which we've based our research and investing, they've been germinating for 25 years, some of them, and now they're moving into prime time. And when people and businesses are scared, they're willing to change the way they do things. And we think that will accrue to the benefit of robotics, energy storage, AI, blockchain technology, and multiomic sequencing, and to the convergence among those platforms and the 14 technologies that underlie them. So one of the analogies as we're going through this market turmoil that I'm using, because it does feel very much like this, this is how it felt when we were going into COVID. And you remember there was a month-long deterioration in the stock market, fairly significant, fairly severe. And at the time, we were saying, wait a minute, who's going to solve this problem? It's the innovators. Who's going to sequence this coronavirus? Who's going to use synthetic biology to develop tests so we figure out if we have this coronavirus? Who's going to develop the vaccine? And of course, those companies were in our portfolios. And I feel the same way now. a lot of businesses, a lot of consumers are fearful, and they're going to be looking for better, cheaper, faster, more productive, more creative in terms of products and services. And so we have high hopes that when the new leadership shows itself, and typically if we are in a correction or a bear market, towards the end is when we see new leadership. I remember very clearly in 08-09, the market did not bottom until March of 09, and our strategies started outperforming in November of 08. This is what typically happens as the market looks to the new leaders. We know the Mag 6 had an extended stay, and we think part of that had to do with, their huge cash cushions and strong cash flows, and that's all the market was looking for in a period, especially starting after 08-09. That concentration towards the Mag 6 hit epic proportions recently. And we don't think they'll be the new leadership. Some of them will participate for sure, but we do not believe they'll be the new leadership in this market. And we do believe that if the market broadens out to more and more stocks, then this bull market that we've been in, which we would have considered with just a few stocks really leading the way to be not an ideal or not a very healthy market. If we get more stocks participating, then that's a bull market that we will call healthy. Okay, so let me go into the charts now, starting with fiscal policy. All right. So here, I've seen these charts for years and years and years, but I didn't realize that we had hit, from a public debt as a percent of GDP, that we had hit the peak we reached in World War II. In the 2000 timeframe, there was the thought, could we be heading, in the tech and telecom bust, could we be heading towards that level? But here we are. And, that was a crisis time, and the country really did pull together after that.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest NVIDIA news, because we post them daily.